Hi, you guys. Orlando City, UK here, and I'm delighted to say some special guests join me today. It's Luke and Ronnie from Red Bull New York, UK. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you once again.
Yeah, you're welcome. This is the second meeting in a few weeks. I want to say thanks for joining us and welcome back. Now, for our US viewers, I want to say straight away, all three of us are united by one cause at the minute. That's England, of course. We're all on cloud nine after defeating Germany 2-0 at Euro 2020 earlier this week, progressing to the quarter-final stages. It's coming home. You know it's coming home.
England might have a better chance. England might have a better chance to win Euros the next tournament.
We won't. We won't have a better chance. We're praying the boys are going to do it. But tonight it's eyes back on MLS. There's an MLS game for both our sides at the weekend. Orlando City versus New York Red Bulls on Saturday night. Well, early hours of Sunday morning. I've already thought, boys, I'm going to be steaming drunk no matter what happens, probably by that time on Sunday.
Oh no, yeah, I've got to agree with you. When I was looking at the fixtures, I was hoping it said Friday into Saturday or Sunday into Monday. When I read that, I went, well, no matter what happens, I'm gonna just about make the game. I might not actually know what's going on, but I'll be watching it.
I said the same to my partner earlier. I think it's going to be the same for us. If we beat Ukraine, the country's going to be going wild. So it might be a bit of a drunken live blog if you're used to Orlando City, UK covering the games. But first of all, lads, I want to say congratulations. Obviously, that last time we played, you were victorious. You're the only team who's beaten Orlando City this season. It takes some doing. So congratulations. I've got to say, you were determined on the day. You were the better team, and I mean, it takes something special, doesn't it, to beat Pedro Galasi, and that Christian Cáceres free kick was inch perfect, wasn't it?
Oh no, yeah, definitely. It's one of the reasons I agreed to come back on. I think if the scoreline was a bit different, I might have been pulling a sickie. But no, yeah, that Christian Cáceres free kick was. Well, it was one of them times that actually an MLS goal goes around the world, and actually see on quite a few English pages, which was nice to see. But obviously, he's been at the Copa America for us, so we've been missing him. And obviously, Caden Clark got the other goal for us that night, and he's been injured, and obviously now signed for Leipzig, but back on loan. So since then, there's been quite a bit of news going on with us.
Fun fact also, that free kick scored the first free kick we scored from direct free kick play since 2016.
Yep.
Something crazy like that. So you're just unlucky that night.
Many free kick goals in the Euros, have we? So Cáceres was teaching him how to do it. Yeah, so we're going to be previewing the weekend's upcoming game against the Red Bulls today. We're going to reflect on what's happened for both the Red Bulls and Orlando City this season. Then we're going to ask Ronnie and Luke a few more questions about this Eastern Conference clash and where it could be won and lost. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing I want to ask you both, maybe Luke, you can go first, but you beat us 2-1 at Red Bull Arena in May. Where does that performance rank of all the Red Bulls performances so far this season?
I think if you take away the road performances, because we've not been great on the roads, it's been our home performances been great. We only lost one game at home. We've got a 4-1 record at home, and it's all our games at Red Bull Arena have been good. Like even the opening day of the season, we were unlucky to lose. But there's up there. I wouldn't say it's the best. I actually think that 2-0 win against Nashville was our best performance of the season. We completely shut out Nashville. And but it's definitely up there, I think.
Yeah. Ronnie, I want to ask you. So obviously Red Bull's currently sitting 7th in the Eastern Conference, having gone 4-1-5 so far. Saw you guys, I watched it actually on Sunday. Obviously, we root for Atlanta United to lose every game. So I was watching that game. You picked up your first road point. You've lost your previous 4 road games. So you got your first road point. Where is the Red Bulls' confidence at right now?
Yeah, I think it's in a good place. Obviously, Atlanta's never the easiest place to go, especially at Mercedes-Benz. But there was chances in the game for us to take the 3 points, which they would take positives. The only problem for us is we've got a couple of injuries in the process. But the team's playing with freedom, which is nice to see. And I think, especially against Atlanta, sometimes teams go there and you've already lost when you step on the pitch. But we took it to them, and I think that's only going to go in our favour for the rest of the season, especially Struber. He's clearly getting into the team and saying this is how we want to play, and it's clearly evident on the pitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also just say the best decision we made of that game, and I'm pretty sure you're agreeing with this here, Taylor, is muting that because we're bloody Atlanta fans.
No, honestly, I mean, we played Miami Friday night, and I mean, the guy on the microphone at Atlanta, if Miami were irritating with their toy drum, then Atlanta was something else as well. Like, I did feel for you guys having to listen to that. So next one. So Luke, I'm going to ask you this one. You've alluded to it a little already. Just looking at the results on paper, like I've been doing this week, you completely seem to be a side who's a completely different side at Red Bull Arena compared to when you go on the road. Have you been unlucky on the road so far? Is that a fair assessment, or have you been the second best on the road?
I think, like I said, we are different in Red Bull Arena. We always have been, really. Red Bull Arena has always been that bit of a. We got, I think, the last 10 years, we got one of the best home records. It's always been really good at home. MLS is a road to perform on MLS is always bonkers anyway, because how MLS is, it's not, you're not like Premier League where you get planes, flights, and you get a train. Let's face it, long journeys in MLS because America is bloody huge. I think some points we got outplayed, but the Galaxy game we were unlucky to lose, I thought. Philly we got a red card, but I think no, that was a poor goal to give away. Because nowadays we probably got a point. What other game? New England. We were actually a better team till our young centre back Ryers got a red card. Sorry. I think we would have won that game if we not done that. And then New England 3-2. Another day we all came back and got a point.
Yeah.
So we got our first road point. I don't think a road win is far away yet.
Yeah. Because we've obviously been interested with you guys coming down to Orlando at the weekend. Whether you was unlucky on the road or whether you were definite second best. Interesting stuff. Ronnie, you've alluded to it at the intro. I knew this guy was going to be on all our lips tonight. I mean, it's Caden Clark, isn't it? So since we last spoke, some unsurprising news, to be honest, that the teenage prodigy will be joining Red Bull Leipzig in 2022, following the path of Tyler Adams, of course, before him. Now, we've had Daryl DK leave for European football, but that was on loan already. And Clark looks for the world, doesn't he? The latest in a long line of top young US prospects. Now, the news broke a couple of days ago. Just tell us, when that news broke, sum up your thoughts, Ronnie. What did you think?
I think everyone's going to agree with me, especially when Red Bulls. We knew it was coming at some point. One of the main reasons he did sign with us was for the link straight into German or Austrian football. But he's a kid; he deserves it. Like, at the end of the day, the MLS is a growing league and there's strong players in it. But the talent, what he's going to come up against in the Bundesliga and playing European football, is only going to go in his favour. He's going to be obviously teaming up with Tyler Adams, one of our old favourites, but also Jesse Marsh, our old coach now, who's in charge of Leipzig. So we might as well change our names to Leipzig at some point, because we're all going to end up supporting them. But no, the kid deserves it. He's a world-class talent. And if Leipzig didn't get him, no one would turn him down. So he was on trial at Barcelona's academy at one point before signing for Red Bulls. But obviously Leipzig got their contract in place. So good luck to him. And obviously, every other MLS team are going to be happy to see the back of him, because he has been doing quite a good job since he turned 17.
Yeah.
It also means we get an excuse to go to a Leipzig match now. And we've got three Americans. We've got three good excuse now.
Yeah. I mean, the overwhelming fear, you guys just must be feeling so proud. I mean, we're the same with DK when he was doing so well at Barnsley. I mean, to see Adams and Clark, go through the system, get their big move to Europe, you must be feeling immense pride right now.
I think it's a great feeling, Red Bull, this club was. I don't think it started, but it was 2015 when they started its new revolution of moving away from we had the Henrys or Cahills, the Marquez's. Yeah. We moved away from that to its youth, and that was really, really harshly criticised by the MLS media. We weren't picked to make the playoffs. Obviously, we won the Shield that year, and we won 2 further Shields. We won more trophies in its youth development scheme. We did when we had some of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
And And facts don't lie. You got Matt Magidza go to Chelsea, a European regular. You had Tim Ream go to Europe, and still playing in England. You got Tyler Adden ripping it up for Leipzig. You got Kane Clark down there. You got so many players, and there'll be another one in 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Like
It's
from its Red Bull
it's
team.
a proven pathway, as you say, Luke, and others will see Clark and be inspired by his story. But I mean, you guys must be glad he's sticking around for 2021, though, right? Sweeten the deal.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to play the rest of the season without him. Let's get a replacement at the end of the season, then Leipzig can do what they want. But
Kane Clark he would score the winning goal in the MLS Cup final, and then go, and that'd be a metro moment all over again.
With your blessings. With your blessings. So I know it's early. I asked you this a couple of weeks ago before our first meeting. I know it's early still in the season, but I'm interested to see your school grades. What are you rating the Red Bulls season out of 10 right now?
Go on, Luke. You can go first.
Okay, so I'm known the more optimistic one of the three, and I still don't see a reason why Red Bulls can't finish in the top three of this conference. I don't think there's in an Eastern Conference. Not like the West. You don't get runaway. You don't get runaway leaders. It's all very close. And for me, the Red Bulls are good than many teams in the East this season. I think obviously the road form not been great. Home form has been, and like I said, it's only 10 games in the season, so we've got we have 34. So we've got another not much wrong, but 24. Yeah, 24 games left. So anything can happen. They could win every game from now on. But I would say a solid 7.5 out of 10.
7.5, Ronnie. What about you, mate?
Yeah, I've always got to be more pessimistic than him, but I'll say a solid 6. That if it weren't for the road form, it would be like an up there in the 8s. But the road form's not concerning at the moment because we're still there or thereabouts. But we do need to start picking up the points against the conference rival. So I think a 6, but hopefully it might boost up after Sunday morning's game for us.
Yeah. Before we move on to the preview in the game at the weekend, the segment, I've got to say, when we're grading, I mean, you would have seen Orlando City. It's a solid 9 for us at the moment. I mean, we're having the season of our dreams at the moment. We played 3. I mean, you guys will know how hectic the mid-season schedule is in MLS. We played 3 games last week and won them all, which is sensational considering,
Orlando Jets so good at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the pundits are saying we're the team to beat, and I know Revs are still there, but we're honestly breathing down their necks now. So I mean, I'm so happy.
I mean, when we did our pre-season predictions, and I've been on the Revs were nowhere near. Revs are a team I forget about. I just hate them. I hate playing them. I hate playing that bloody stadium. And it's quite amazing too. Orlando were the whipping boys of the league until a couple of years ago. They came in 2015 with all the grand stage. Never really worked out for them. Employing Jason Crates is never a great idea. He's never one of Ben Elson's managers. But I seem to pick it up now. Like, it's getting too.
It's coming together. It is coming together. There's 2 words for me. I mean, all of our supporters will know Oscar Pereira. That man's come in. He's changed around the whole culture in the club. We've bought smarter. We've, kept top talents at the club. And it's going to be an interesting game on the weekend because, I mean, the firepower we have at our disposal at the moment is scary. So I'm confident. But, and I've got to say, I'm still gutted Sylvester van der Water didn't equalise at Red Bull Arena. That would have been the ultimate smash and grab. He almost got that second goal, didn't he, right at the end?
Oh, there was a hand in my moment when we were watching that. Couldn't believe he didn't score that. Yeah. But I think I think we deserved a 2-1 victory. I think we were the best team.
It would have been a second grab, yeah. I think you're right, Luke. I'm biased, but I think you guys did deserve to win that day. Now, moving on, so the Red Bulls game at the weekend. Orlando City have conceded the joint least number of goals in MLS right now. That's 7. Seattle Sounders and the Columbus Crew hold the same record of just 7 goals conceded. Who is Red Bull's most likely scorer this weekend? We saw Clark and Caceres at Red Bull Arena, but is one of your strikers going to come to the boil? Who's most likely for you this weekend?
So Caden Clark, I find it hard to imagine Caden Clark be playing this weekend. He had was it what did he have in game one? I can't remember what he had now.
No, it's
So,
minor procedure.
my
So
procedure. So he's not playing for a cup again. He might be back for as well. I'm not sure.
We're missing, obviously.
Yeah. But RT strikers Fabio and Kamala have started to pick it up now. Kamala lots of retard play. He's registered a goal or assists in all of his MLS games so far. So that's good to know, obviously. I think also we got off the bench. You got like Danny Roy was coming up. I think he could be back this weekend. Obviously, Danny Roy can get a goal, so I think Vare would probably be our more likely to score.
Okay, yeah. We obviously, like I said earlier, I was watching your game against Atlanta last weekend. He was missing from our first head-to-head this season, but obviously our fans, Lion supporters, are interested in Amro Tarek, who was with Orlando City a couple of seasons ago. Is he back in your squad yet, and is he likely to feature this weekend?
no, yeah. So we've had quite a few injury setbacks this season, especially in the centre half department. And Amro Tarek come on for injured Reyes last week, so I would say it's very likely you'd be seeing your old man in action. And I think quite similar to quite a few Orlando fans, he did get booked when he did come off the bench, but he's a solid player. He's a good one to have in the squad. But we are at the moment, as long as there's no miracles this week, we've got 2 fit centre half, so it's pretty obvious. Well, we say it's pretty obvious that Tarek's going to be starting against you this weekend.
A word on Tarek for your viewers at Red Bulls. I mean, we loved him in Orlando. He was only on a loan. We didn't make it permanent when he was down there with us for the season, but he was immense. He's physical, isn't he? He's the kind of player that fans love. He's aggressive. Got plenty of bites. It'll be interesting to see him go up against whether DK plays, Nani, obviously, Tesho Akindele. That will be a good head-to-head to watch if Tarek plays. But like you said, you were injury ravaged, weren't you? Particularly at centre half the last time you faced us. Is defence still your biggest point of weakness right now that we can take advantage of?
Oh, 100%, yeah. So even when we played last time, we had 3 centre halves, and since then, Reyes has done a hamstring injury last weekend. So at the moment, we've got Sean Nealis and we've got Amro Tarek, who are recognised centre backs. We've got some obviously at Red Bull 2 who have dropped down, but as it stands, we've got 2 centre halves. So fingers crossed that they stay healthy for us.
Yeah, and another one, Luke. I mean, not in defence, moving further forward. He's someone I noticed who's a new kid on the block. Carmona, was it Winkleman? Yeah. Carmona started.
Yeah.
What has he got that Orlando supporters won't know?
I think he was a new signing this year, and he's carrying quite a lot of promise. I think if be a player, I think he'll make a few appearances coming in. Might drop down to the twos now again. He's going to be the next. He'll be one in a few years' time. He'll be the next Caden Clark, I think.
Yeah.
He's a very good player. Obviously, the first game he started was against Atlanta. I think he's got a lot of drive. I like the driving of him. I don't think he probably won't score goals, but he does work before you get the one to score a goal. I think, like he does the ugly stuff people don't often recognise, but it's actually crucial to the game.
Yeah. So he's someone, Carmona, for Orlando City supporters, who might well line up if Clark's missing this. Now, I want to know from your point of view now. So obviously Orlando City have been going great guns all season. Nani's creating his own goal of the season competition. He seems to get a better goal every week. If you've not watched the one against Miami, it's out of the world. But I want to know, is it an obvious question? Which Orlando player are you most concerned about facing this weekend?
Well, yeah, so obviously Nani's on form of his life at the moment, but also with Daryl DK coming back in, I was a big fan of him when he was at Barnsley, and we know one of our head coach, Struben, knows him quite well as well, being at Barnsley before. So hopefully he can get in contact with some of his old mates at Barnsley if he does play to know how to stop him, because like we say, he's most likely going to be European bound at some point, and he's a great talent to have. So But then Nani, he's actually rekindling saying what he used to show at Man U all of the time.
Yeah.
And you try and stop him, and then he'll just go past 3 players and then whip it straight in the top corner. So he's a talented player, and he deserves some of these goals he's getting because he's world class at times. And even though it's painful to say, it's nice to see him showing what he can show at times, rather than just some MLS players come here, put their camper van out, lay there and do nothing. But no, it's nice to see these Premier League players coming over and actually caring about the league.
Absolutely. I mean, Nani, model professional, but this season he's just taken it to a new level, proving some of the doubters. It's crazy to think there were doubters when he came to MLS, proving them wrong. But a word on DK, obviously you guys are fearing him. The Gold Cup squad for the US gets announced fairly soon. So I'm not 100% whether he plays this weekend. He should. I'm tempted to say he will because obviously there's a couple of weeks until that tournament begins. But I'm not 100% sure. What I will say is that we've got so much strength and depth in attack now that we have kind of been rotating up the forward line and not being weaker for it. So it'll be interesting to see who Oscar Pereira goes with up front, whether it's Tesho Akindele, whether Benji Michel gets a run through there, whether it's DK. We've got so many options at the moment, which is the pleasing thing about our season. But I want to know next. So Red Bull's players, since that game at Red Bull Arena when you beat us 2-1, which other players should we be wary about? Obviously, we know you got Frankie Amaya. Has he been doing well, or is there someone else that's been catching your eye?
No, well, from our perspective, Patrick Klimala, who's now starting each game, I really like him. He reminds me a bit of a Marko Arnautovic type of player who's a bit fiery at times, and if someone puts something on him, he'll give him something back. But very good ability-wise. He's still settling in, so he should have had a goal against Atlanta, but I would say keep an eye out on him. He's a very good talent we got from Celtic, and he could be one of them that fires in the MLS once he gets going. But he's tricky, he can go left, right, he's got skills in his locker, and he's got a powerful shot on him. Yeah. And with Fabio alongside him, Fabio's more of actually quite a good squad player that he'll rather pass to create a chance rather than just shoot all the time, even though he did score a worldie a few games back. But Klimala is my guy to look for, and he's been playing really well. And I think I'm actually really looking forward to seeing him in the future for Red Bulls.
Yeah, he's the guy you got from Celtic, right?
Yeah.
We seem to like Celtic a lot. Yeah. We got 3 players in Celtic in each season. Because he's some sort of Celtic love. But yeah, I think this team, we've got to remember also, this team is a brand new team, but basically none of the players, very few of the players in this squad now was here last season in the Chris Harmons era.
Yeah.
This team is still new, still gelling. And this team, when it's fully gelled, is going to be a scary team. People need to be next season will be a very good season for the Bulls.
A quick word on him, seeing as you brought him up. Chris Harmons having a shocker at PFC. Just a word from you guys who obviously know him. What are you making of Chris Harmons' spell at Tilbury FC?
Not surprised, to be honest. Not surprised. I've got nothing against the man himself because I think he's a very good player. I think he's a very good assistant, but sometimes you're out of your depth, and it's sad to see. But obviously, didn't get much loving at the end of his tenure at Red Bulls. In Toronto, it's more a case of I'm going to wake up at some point and they're going to just say he's got. I thought he would have been gone quicker than what he has been. But
I don't know because obviously our former head coach, not head coach, our former director of football, Ali Curtis is in charge here. And I think Ali Curtis is his mate from the I won't be surprised if I'd be surprised if he makes a season, but I don't think he gets sacked yet. But it's not going well for him. Yeah. And people that will make me laugh is when he was in bad at Red Bull, it was Red Bull's fault with squad shit. The squad is awful. But when it gets to Toronto, it's all his fault, according to the media. It's not like there's any bias towards Toronto, anything like that.
Right, so guys, I'm going to put you on the spot. I did last time. This is the impossible job because of all your injury troubles, but I'm still going to ask you, from back to front, what is the likely Red Bulls 11 we see in Exploria Stadium this weekend?
Yeah, well, I'll say Carlos Coronel in goal. He's going to be our starting goalkeeper all season. And then we're going to play Cole Duncan, obviously who's represented US, at right back. And then I would expect to see Amro Tarek and Sean Nealis as the two centre-halves, with Tolkien with his fabulous new Eminem-based haircut where he's actually got rid of the mullet. It's all gone. He's now dyed it blonde. He's had a Phil Foden moment. Then Sean Davis and Tom Edwards most likely in the midfield, I'd say. Then it just comes down to injury, but I really did like Wilkerman Carmona last week, so I could see him playing again, and potentially an Englishman of Drew Yearwood again playing in there, which would be nice because we had Yearwood and Edwards, two Englishmen playing, which is lovely to see for us. And then we started with Tom Barlow. I won't get into that debate for another day, but Tom Barlow last week, but I expect to see Fabio and Klimala starting.
Yeah. Interesting with the Englishman I want to speak about quickly here. Tom Edwards, obviously, we've seen him in the Premier League in the Championship for Stoke City, who he's on loan from. Is he playing in midfield for you guys now? Because he's a right.
He plays all over the shop. Plays right back, left back, centre back, defensive midfield.
Yeah.
We love Tom Barlow. We love Tom Barlow. Oh God.
Tom Edwards.
We love Tom Edwards. He actually retweeted one of our tweets. Tweeted one of our tweets on the other day. So we love Tom Barlow. It's always nice to have a British, English person.
Yeah. And Drew Yearwood, is he a designated player for you guys?
No, he's not anymore. He's now under the under-22 initiative.
Yeah.
I did find that strange when you signed him from Brentford last season and getting a DP tag. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. I mean, he's a good player, but he's not really. He's kind of kicked out the team, really.
Yeah.
Like Cody Clark.
Yeah.
And he doesn't seem to me like the stupid type of player.
Yeah.
But when you got him on a DP contract, it's quite hard to get rid of someone.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna make a bold claim here. But unlike me, I wouldn't be totally shocked if he's somehow not here come next season. He's not starting. He's obviously on a fair bit of money, as he was a DP contract. He's not starting a lot of games. So
yeah. I think you guys might be right, but there you have it. There's the guys Red Bull's probable lineup at the weekend. Obviously, if Caden Clark is missing, that's a massive bonus for us. The kid's been fantastic, hasn't he, since last season? Quickly going through the Orlando City likely lineup. Pedro Gillespie doing very well with Peru at the Copa America at the moment. So Brandon Austin will get his fourth game in a row. The dual national, he's half American, half English. England under 21 international, actually. He's been very good since he's come in. So he will be in goal again for this one. At right back, you guys might not know him, but we've got a guy for our pipeline, for our academy, Mikey Halliday. Had a storming game at Inter Miami last weekend. I don't see any reason why he's dropped out at right back. And then our rock solid defence of Antonio Carlos and Robin Jensen, so dependable. For me, the best back line, the best centre back duo in the league. And then Kyle Smith, the tax man, as we call him, in Orlando, a right back playing left back, but he's been immense there this season. So I see an unchanged back four. Moving into the midfield, we've obviously got our other international, Sebas Mendes, away at the Copa America with Ecuador. Again, has been playing very well, was brilliant against Brazil, and marshalling Bobby Firmino the other night. So it shows you his levels and where he could potentially end up. He's missing, so we'll have Junior Urso and Andres Pereira in there probably. But again, Uri Rosel's back in the team now, so Oscar might freshen up in there. And then the front four, this genuinely is anyone's guess, like you with your defence earlier in the season. I mean, we've got so many weapons going forward now. Nani obviously will play off the left. Our talisman, he's been incredible. 9.5 out of 10 this season. Mauricio Pereira will be in the 10, pulling the strings. Sylvester van der Water, our Dutchman that we signed, he started the last game against Miami. It wasn't his best game. He's shown us more in the previous games, but he might likely get a go there. But equally, might Chris Mueller or Benji Michel. We've got so many options. And then up top, Daryl Dike, again, not 100% whether he starts because I don't know if Berholt has phoned up Oscar Pereira and wants him in cotton wool for the Gold Cup. If he does, then Tesho Akindele will go in there. You could play Benji Michel there, but if DK's fit and available, I'm selfish. I want him to play for Orlando, so hopefully he does. But that's the Orlando lineup. We're almost out of time, but last but not least, Ronnie, Luke, one at a time, tell us your score prediction for this weekend's game.
I'm going to say, it's going to pay me to say it, but injuries and on the road, I'm going to say 2-0 to Orlando.
Pessimistic. I hope so. Pessimistic.
I can never be pessimistic. It's not in my nature to be pessimistic. And I think if you look back throughout the years, Red Bull do have a good record against Orlando. We beat you when we won the Shield. And I know we landed a completely different outfit now. We were back then on the whipping boys of the league, pretty much. But I always fancied Red Bull. I think the press is very effective. And I think defensively it is a concern, but I still think I can get at least a road point. But I wouldn't be surprised if we get like 2-1 win, like smash and grab.
Or 2-1. I mean, you guys have cracked the code. You're the only team to beat us this year, so it will be a tough game. You guys are always a tough nut to crack. We did our stats preview this week, and it's a really tight game series. You guys have lost 3 times at Exploria, though, so I'm hoping there might be something in that. But that is almost our time up today. So I want to say a big thank you to Ronnie, big thank you to Luke for joining us. Quickly tell our listeners where they can find you on the World Wide Web.
Well, I'll do this one. So you can find us on Twitter and Instagram, both for username RBNY UK. And you can also find us online. We've got our own website, RBNYUK.com. We've got articles there, pre-match previews, so much stuff. And also running a competition on Twitter at the moment. We become web members or season ticket holders to go watch more of the matches. But unfortunately, we can't go every week because we're about 7 hours away. So we can't fly every week. So when we're not using it, we'll be giving it away. So if you want to win a ticket to the next home game at Red Bull Arena, just go to our Twitter for more details.
Good stuff, Luke. Good stuff, Luke. Thanks very much. So as for Red Bull's Orlando City, so we are going to need the cans of Red Bull for this one. It kicks off at 12:30 a.m. UK time, so early hours of Sunday morning. Going to be hungover, whatever happens in England. You guys will be as well. But even better, you can watch Orlando City versus Red Bulls live on Free Sports as well. If you've not downloaded the Free Sports player yet, go for it. I've done it. It's amazing. It's free. You can watch tons of Orlando games, tons of Red Bull games, all the way through to the playoffs. So may the best team win this weekend. And until next time, Vamos Orlando.